gentle tune, the trumpets. The snow is drifting through the square, soft carols floating in the air. The candlelight upon the pine reminds me you were once just mine.
Good morning, good morning.
The world is dressed in silver.
How are you guys?
The stars above are burning bright.
A little too early, a little too early.
I wish that you were here today. When Christmas comes around again, I'll dream of how it used to be.
Hope you guys had a good weekend. My weekend was pretty good. It looks like we might be getting the government to open up again. I read some headlines here. Senate advances bill to end the shutdown. That'll be good. We'll start getting the CFTC data again. A lot of work to catch up on. There's a lot of weeks data that we have missed out on because we haven't had that data released to us. So there's going to be a lot of work I'm going to do to catch up on the on my spreadsheet, update my spreadsheet, but that's not going to be much of a problem. So I wanted to take a look at what is moving. I think the big headline for me this week is last week we had a big decline in the S&P all across the board. We talked about these markets last week in the live sessions that we did. All across the board, we had the indexes dropping. Okay, we had the SP 500, we had the Dow Jones, and we had the NASDAQ all dropping. But as I was mentioning to you guys, while price was dropping, something very significant was happening. And that was price was making contact with a really nice institutional buying zone. And so what was this institutional buying zone? Well, it was an area where the banks were significantly buying the market before. And so when price gets back into these areas, we suspect that that's likely what is going to happen again. So I entered into a long position, which I disclosed in last week's level 3. In fact, during the level 3 session that we did, I opened up the position live with students and members. So we're bullish the market, okay? We are bullish the market because of the big institutional buying area that came into play here. So for me this week, that's the main headline. We got major buying of the indexes from the lows. All right. So let's take a look here. Here's your headlines for this morning. Trending tickers, we have XRP, which makes me want to look at how Bitcoin is doing. And I see Bitcoin, we went through this in real great detail last week with members and talked about exactly what is playing out here. We had a short signal that we called out from this area here. The zone got broken through, but stop loss was not hit, and it came exactly to our target, okay? And why do we have this as a target? Well, this was the area that we suspected price would likely drop to, and then once that area got contacted, we'd likely see some profit taking on those short positions. And so now that's what we're seeing, is profit taking on those short positions. So still bearish Bitcoin, and the reason being is because when we look at the charts, we see big institutional selling came here, all right? And we don't have institutional buying. At least the last time we saw institutional buying, it was down here. We don't have that coming into play until a little bit further down onto the chart. So that has not been contacted yet, all right? Now, we can see some short-term buying taking place down at these lows. I think this is mostly fueled by the short-term profit taking on shorts. So supply zones are being removed. That's being removed by the short-term profit taking on short positions. Okay, so I'm going to be watching this one. Could we have a short trade? Yeah, potentially. If price came into this area of supply, we could see price reverse and head back to the downside. I'll be looking for confirmation trade when price gets up there. I wouldn't want to trade that zone blindly or just trade the zone. I don't think that would be the greatest idea. There's a couple things happening on other time frames that could make it a little bit more difficult for this one to just drop exactly from that zone. Good chances though. Okay, so Beyond Meat, BYND. Let's see what's going on here. I haven't been a fan of this company simply because I wouldn't eat anything that's not real meat. I don't know, that's just me, but I like to have meat and it not be fake. Not much going on here. I don't see why it's a trending ticker. Maybe because earnings are coming out and they're expecting it to drop even further. Maybe. I wouldn't speculate on that one. Barrick Mining. Let's see what's going on here. Earnings are coming out this morning. Yeah, and it looks like it's gapping up. That's good. That's good. Let me open up this chart here. And yeah, so I see something very important here. Okay. We're coming into a major selling area. All right. So, yes, earnings may be good. We might be getting a nice gap up, but be cautious because actually it looks like revenue is not so great. But we're getting a big gap up nonetheless. For what reason, I don't know. I'd have to look into it and find out why. But a very bullish move this morning. I would caution everybody, though, if you're thinking about going long, this major institutional supply area is likely going to be putting pressure on price to the downside. So I would not want to be getting into a long position there. I'd wait for lower areas, areas where institutional buying took place, which caused price to get up to where it's at. I'd wait for prices to retrace down to those areas and then wait for the reaction from supply to take place, wait for demand to come back in, and then ride the wave of price to the upside. I think that would be a better idea. Monday.com, MNDY. I don't know if I've looked at this one recently. Let's see. Earnings this morning, positive. It's gapping down. Does this look like something I would want to trade? Not really. I mean, it looks like we may have some tested demand that's in play here. Okay, possible. I would want to wait for institutional selling areas to be removed. I see this right here as being a major obstacle. So if I was going to trade this, I'd want this to be removed first, pull back into demand, and then I'd go long, something like that. All right. Integrated Media, IMTE. Yeah, I wouldn't want to trade this one either. Okay. No, I don't like trading tickers like that. Let's look at something though. I have curious. I heard some big tickers are releasing where is it? Economic earnings calendar are coming out with earnings this week. Today it looks like Occidental Petroleum. I've been tracking this one for some time now. Warren Buffett. If you've been following me for some time, you know that we had some major institutional supply areas coming into play here. Okay. Right here, Warren Buffett bought here as price was entering into supply. And if you've been following us, you know I was saying, well, that's a pretty ballsy move. Price is rallying right into a major institutional selling zone, and Warren Buffett is buying. And so, well, take a look what happened. We had a nice drop from supply here, and look where it dropped to. Drop into demand, okay? And look what's happening ever since. big rally. So right now, price is stuck within this range of supply and demand. But now that we've responded to demand, we're likely going to see a push to the upside. And so now you're starting to see exactly that. So if you're looking at the stock and you're like, oh, I wonder why it's going up. Well, it's going up because big institutional buying is taking place. Now, would I want to be buying right now? Not really. I look at the monthly time frame and I see big, juicy supply zone that price is responding from. If there was no supply there, I would have been in a long position already, okay? But I'm going to wait for this area to be dismantled, new demand to come into play, and then I'm going to join in and buy. I think this will make for a good trade. What else do we have here? Let's just get me in here. Tyson Foods, TSN, let's see. They're up in pre-market. Looks like they have responded from big institutional buying. I'd be careful up in this area. I'd be careful up in this area, in the 60s. We got big selling area there. Price could rally up nicely into that selling area and then see a big drop. So I'd be careful with that one. IPG. Earnings coming out when? Hasn't come out yet, that's for sure. Yeah, I guess there's no specific time, but this looks like this could be a big mover to the upside in the coming weeks. Yeah, I see big institutional buying being contacted right now in this area. So over time, we could see a big rally. I'll keep this one on my personal watch list, something where I'll do a little bit more detailed analysis with students and see if it would be one to enter. Cisco, I'm not going to go through all of them, but Ross Stores is one that has been of interest to me. Yeah, came down, fell short of hitting a big institutional buying zone that we wanted to enter in long from. And it's been up ever since. This one's looking good. Earnings coming out soon. I wouldn't buy at these highs. I'd wait for a pullback first and then take it from there. Applied Materials. Let's see this one. Earnings coming out. Hitting supply. Okay, do you guys see this? Hitting a supply area. So I wouldn't want to get in long this one unless that supply area got taken out. Okay? So be careful with that big institutional supply there. So if earnings were good and price rallied back into that supply, I would not care because they could use positive earnings as a way to offload their positions because this is a selling area here, okay? This is areas where banks will be selling their positions, okay? They got in down here, they take profits at the highs. So how are they going to find buyers? It could be positive earnings. They'll find their buyers that way, okay? All right, I won't go into any more, but gold, I wanted to show you gold because gold is moving and it's entering right into our sell area here on the daily time frame. So we are watching for this one because remember, we just had a massive drop, okay? And remember, CFTC data, up until the latest set of data that we did have, was showing us that the banks need to take profits on their positions, okay? So if we look at gold, we look at what they were doing with their long positions up until September 23rd, which is the last set of data that they released. They were increasing. I'm pretty sure they're close to the 400 area, all right? Which means they're going to have to take profits on their long positions. And I suspect this is what we're seeing here on the charts, is that profit taking place, okay? So they're coming in with some selling area, Okay, big selling area here, and now price is coming into that area of selling. Now, whether or not they're going to drop from this area, we don't know. What we'd like to see is new selling coming in on the lower time frame. So we're going to be mapping out the supply and demand coming in on the 4-hour time frame as well as the 1-hour time frame, and we'll be looking to see if selling is indeed coming in on those lower time frames, because we might get a short signal off this area, and if it does take place, we could get a nice move to the downside from that area. Okay, we'll be going into all these details with students later on today. We're going to be doing a live session at 9 o'clock. We're going to be reviewing homework. By the way, students, I've seen all the homework that you guys have been sending in. Great stuff, great work. Silver, same thing. We have a selling area that came into creation back here. Big drop from that area. Now we're heading back into this area. This is an area that we're looking for a short signal to be produced from, because if it was a new selling coming in here, that we could get a nice move down to my weekly target at 43.28. All right. I guess that's pretty much all I've got going on right now. I'll put on some Christmas music again. Was listening to this yesterday as I was doing chart work. I don't know if you guys seen this. Have you seen this new craze of people making music using AI? It's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous. But I came across this mix yesterday, playing, looking for Christmas tunes while I was putting up my Christmas tree with my family. Came across this mix and I'm listening to it. And I'm like, wait a minute. These voices sound familiar, but I don't know these people. And I don't know these songs. So I was using Shazam to see who it was, and Shazam didn't have a clue. And then I realized people are using AI to create Christmas tunes. Crazy. Anyways, we'll see you around, guys. See you in the Telegram channel.